How's it going, everyone? I'm the Gaming Raptor, and welcome to a new kind of series that I want to start on the channel. Today, I'm going to be doing a For Honor factions tier list. Now, this is going to be duels only for this series. I've always wanted to try and do this because I've had many comments of you guys telling me to do tier lists for Honor, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot. But I want to do it in factions only. So we're going to start off with the Vikings faction first. The Vikings being with Warlord, Raider, Shaman, etc. You know, the regular Vikings. I want to start off with them first because I do play with the Vikings the most in the game, and I really just want to just do a good tier list for you guys. And also, a disclaimer, I just want to tell y'all, like, this is just going off my opinion on where I place the characters in this tier list for duels. But if you do disagree with the tier list, okay, just be civil in the comments. That's all I'm saying. But hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get straight into it. Alright, so here we go. So the first character we have is Raider. Now, you all know Raider is the standard vanguard of For Honor and whatnot, and I personally do think that Raider would be in the B tier. The reason why he would be in B tier is because his move set is literally the same thing. It's literally heavies, the storm tap, and unblockable zones, and that's it. That's really what it is for Raider. And his kit can be reacted easily. I mean, all you gotta do is just parry against Raider or block against Raider, and you'll be fine, honestly. But he still is a really good hero. He has really good damage output, so I personally would just put him in the B tier. Alright, the next character we have here is Jorm. Now, Jorm, I personally do enjoy playing with Jorm since Jorm was my first main ever since I switched on to Warlord. She was the one that I would play with the most. And right now, with Jorm in duels, I would personally put Jorm in A. The reason I would put Jorm in the A tier is because I feel like Jorm is actually a pretty good duelist, and some people just don't think that Jorm is a really good duelist at all. Jorm is a really good duelist, really is. I mean, even with the Shin Crusher that you can get off now, the Shin Crusher where basically Jorm goes straight for the knee, that move, it does give off a little bit of good damage, but you can also mix it up with the zone to get it off if you want to, like go for zone, go for Shin Crusher after, or you can just feint it into a guard break. It really depends on how you play with Jorm, but I feel like Jorm is actually a really good duelist just right now, honestly, in today's meta. So I just feel like Jorm would be perfect at A tier. Now, there are some instances where people are saying that she's in B tier, and I'm not disagreeing with some people, but I just feel like she's actually pretty good in the A tier column. That could be just me. Like, I'd say low A, that's where I would put her, but I just feel like she's like in that column of A. That's where I would say. Next up we have is Warlord. Now, people said that Warlord was S tier. I'm gonna just tell you right now, he's not S tier whatsoever. Jorm would pretty much be in the A tier. He'd pretty much be A. I mean, his headbutt is still pretty good to use. The only thing that they took away was the backstep light. So the backstep light, it did hurt him a little bit. So he's like in like a low A territory, but it's not that bad, honestly. Even for Warlord, Warlord is still powerful. I mean, people just say that he's not that powerful or he's just bad now ever since they nerfed his light. I mean, it doesn't matter, to be honest, man. He still has really good hype armor, and you can use that to your advantage. And plus, his heavies are still really powerful. His wall punishes are really powerful as well, like getting people to the wall, hitting them with the side heavy, still really good. Honestly, I say he's still a really solid duelist, so I would just leave him in A tier. Next up we have is Shaman. Now, Shaman, I'm probably gonna put a Shaman here. Nah, yeah, I know there's gonna be some Shaman mains saying that she's in A tier. I think she's in the B tier. The reason why I say that is because in order to get some damage, you got to get the bleed in. That's really how you get your damage with Shaman, is by bleeding somebody. And the way to get the bleed in is by A, going for the stab. It's by A, trying to go for the top lights or the side lights and whatnot, trying to poke your opponent and get some bleed in there, and then continue stacking that bleed. That's the best way that I could say it with Shaman. And plus, she can get parried easily with her zone as well. Like, her zone, if you try to spam that zone with Shaman, you can get parried. All you got to do is just block the first hit and then parry the second one. That's really all you got to do against a Shaman, which is why I would put her in the B tier, since I feel like she does need more buffs to where she be in an A tier. She be an A tier hero, but I'm gonna just keep her at B. She kind of lacks a little bit, and plus, I'm gonna move her up above Raider. Okay. Well, I'll move her up above Raider. And plus, one thing that I did forget, you can also get the bleed in by doing deflex as well, which you can stack that bleed up as well. But again, don't try to take the tier list saying that Shaman's not that good of a character. She's a good character if you can play with her. You just have to put in a little bit of work. She's not that bad of a character. You just have to put in a little bit more work just to make her effective. Next up, we have my boy Berserker, which I'm going to put Berserker right here, right in the middle, right in front of Jormungandr actually. And the reason why Berserker would be an A is because, well, Berserker has hyper armor, we all know that, and plus he gets a free heavy off of deflect, which his deflect is one of my favorite deflects in the game. Just to get a free heavy off, man, it just feels so good. And plus the lights themselves are very fast, and Berserker can mix those up too. Plus Berserker also has the zone, which the zone itself is easy to parry. I mean, well, it's easy to block. I mean, once you see the Berserker go for the startup animation for that zone, all you gotta do is just block it on which side the Berserker throws it on. Basically, I think it's on the right. I think it's on right side or left. I think it could be right. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. But I just feel like Berserker is still pretty strong in today's current meta. Even in duels, I feel like he's really strong. Even some Berserkers that even do the Berserker tech. You can also do the tech, which there are some people that literally do that and abuse that. Personally, just put Berserker in A tier, pretty much in high A. That's where I would put Berserker. All right, next up we have is Valkyrie. Now, Valkyrie, I'm probably gonna put Valkyrie here in the low B, right behind Raider. Now, the reason why I have Valkyrie here in B is because with Valkyrie, she is still pretty strong. She can still get her damage in as best she can with her bash. And her all guard, the way she goes in it, I mean, people, all they gotta do is just guard break it. Once you see Valkyrie go into that all guard counter, all you gotta do is just guard break her. That's literally all you gotta do to beat a Valkyrie, if they continue to do that. Now, there are some cases where Valkyrie will switch it up and maybe go for something different, but her kit, it's all consistent with lights and heavies. That's really it, and the zone. And you can also go for the sweep for Valkyrie, but with Valkyrie sweep, it's easy to dodge too. She honestly it's gonna be a bit tough for you to work with her in duels just to get something good out with her. You'd have to like really make good reads and reactions when playing with her. So I personally would just put her in B. I mean, she's still really good. She has really good damage output. The way you have to get your damage, that's what sucks with Valkyrie a little bit, which after they nerfed her, I think with her rework afterward, I don't know, just everything else, it just went downhill for her. Even with the recent nerf of her losing her backstep light, yeah, I don't know about Valkyrie mains, but let me know what y'all think in the comments. Next up we have is Varangian Guard, which the Varangian Guard I'm gonna put here in C. Now, the reason why I would put Varangian Guard here in C is because Varangian Guard's kit is very slow. It really is, man. I mean, all the opponents got to do is react to literally everything that you do playing with Varangian, whether it be the bash or be the heavies or be the lights too, which the lights themselves are easy to parry too. It's just the heavies are very easy to parry. I mean, whenever I see in a Varangian throw out an unblockable heavy, I just know, okay, I just gotta parry that. That's it. Like, that's it, man. If they go for their bash, you can dodge that. Like, she's overall reactable in duels. Now mind you, this is only for duels. But if it were in like 4s or whatnot, she would be at a higher place. She would pretty much be right here, actually, in 4s. But she would be here in duels for me, man. She's just in the C tier column. Her kid is just really just regular and just very, very slow. I mean, the only thing that would make up for her is going into her all guard. That's one thing, but honestly, even with that, you're still gonna have a very hard time trying to get stuff with her. So I personally would just leave her in here and C. And the last character for the Vikings faction we have here is Highlander. Now for me, I am going to probably put Highlander here in C as well. I'm not gonna put him in D because he recently got a rework where his kit is actually very, very good now. He basically can go into like a side dodge attack in offensive stance. He can now feint his kick as well, and he can also go for pretty much anything else after feint. Like, he can feint most of his stuff now, which is what I know. So yeah, he's honestly pretty good now. So I pretty much will put him in the C tier. There's some good clips that I've seen of Highlanders just doing really good even with this rework, and people that are still new, they're doing really good with Highlander as well. Like, he feels more easy to pick up now, because if you were playing with Highlander before his rework, it was very hard. Like, you had to like do certain text just to make him work, but now he feels pretty good, honestly. So I would just personally put him in C tier. I mean, he's not the best. I mean, you can make him the best if you take the time to understand the movements of the character, but he's in my opinion a good C tier hero in duels. And that's where I will leave them. But there you guys have it. That's going to be it for this tier list for the Vikings faction. Now, again, do not take this to heart at all with this tier list. Don't try to take it to heart saying like Warlord's an A tier, berserker's an A tier, or Jorm's an A tier. This is just my opinion on where I feel the heroes are right now in the meta. That's pretty much what I feel. Now, again, you can always leave your own opinion in the comments below, and please be respectful in the comments and just tell me if you agree with this tier list or you disagree with it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I like to just respond to each and every single comment that comments down below, man, and we just start up with a really good debate. I would love to just hear you guys what your guys' thoughts are. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys go ahead and like the video, subscribe if you're new, and again, comment what you guys think about the tier list. And I will see you guys in the next video. Alright guys, peace out.